All right, guys, welcome back to the live stream. It's been just a minute, and we are working on John and Susan's van. So, gonna get you guys up, and then also we're gonna hop into the van, and we're gonna be just putting all the plastics in, the final swivel seat that goes on the passenger side, and something kind of funny. I was eager to get the van outside to do. I took it outside yesterday to test the solar. Water systems and power and stuff like that. And it's kind of funny. I put the passenger seat in the driver's seat. So yeah, there's actually no difference in the mounting or the seat arrangement. It just essentially is the adjustment for the reclining and the seat belt. It's pretty much the only difference. So kind of hilarious. Even the cables underneath for the airbags and stuff are exactly the same. So yeah. Nothing was ringing out to me that it was wrong, but hey, I just used it to get outside. So when you see me moving the driver's seat over to the passenger seat, that is why. It's good though because there's some things that I had to modify. Now I modified this on Thomas's van. Actually, not Thomas's van. I modified this on the shop build. So I think I'm calling that one the Glacier build. And I didn't do any photo or video of it, so we're gonna get inside the van and show you what those modifications were. Mainly it was, there's two things that you gotta do. Let me see if I can find these parts that I cut off. So you have a bracket that holds, this bracket holds the, this is the battery tie down. So essentially there's this rubber piece and it goes into the front of the seat. And then this back has a carpeted section and that bolts down. And so technically it doesn't really hold the batteries. It's more, so if you don't have the swivel seat, there's like probably 1.5 inch gap. So they don't want the batteries doing this. However, when you put the swivel in, it won't lay flat. So you have to cut this out. And then the other thing you have to do is this is the little negative battery terminal access. And this sticks up too high, this profile here. So you got to just take that out. So those two things have to be removed before you can actually get the seat in. Let's see, we're gonna do that. And then, let's see, we got our swivel, a couple other things. Yeah, I was bleeding the, I guess you would call it bleeding. I was air purging the Webasto lines yesterday, and it took forever. I had to, basically when you're installing a Webasto heater, and we'll look at this little video here. When you turn this on, you have to let it cycle through and pump all the air out before the fuel can actually get into the combustion chamber. And so normally it takes like maybe 2 times. I think it took me like 5 times. So and that was after I'd actually, I took a vacuum pump. So let me show you what that looks like. So I got a vacuum bleeder. You can get it at Harbor Freight. I think it's like 20 bucks, but essentially what it is it's a vacuum pump kit for brakes. So if you were changing your brake fluid, you would buy this, and then this would, so I got it here in a bucket just in case gasoline came out. But essentially what I did was I took the fuel filter off, and I took this and I stuck it in the end of the fuel filter, between the fuel filter and the pump. And then I just pumped it up until I could actually pull that vacuum out and get the fuel flowing. Because it'll take forever for that pump to do that. So yeah, it took a while last night, but I stayed here until I got the Webasto running. So the Bluetooth works. I got the app running. The Webasto heater is working, super smooth. I let it run for a little bit because if you don't let it run for a while, When it first kicks off, it smells like melted plastic for about 15, 20 minutes. So I just let that burn off, open the doors of the shop, let the whole entire thing burn off. Especially if you're building a van for someone, you want that to burn off before they get in the van because it'll smell like something's wrong even though it's not. But that has all been taken care of, so that's all working. And now that's checked off the list from last night, today we can go ahead and seal this up with the swivel seat. Now, one thing with the swivel seat that's such a big deal is if you don't finish what you need to do underneath the seat, then like for example, all the battery connections or the Webasto, once you put the swivel plate on, it's there kind of forever. And it's hard to access anything underneath. So you really need to make sure you've kind of checked your list off as far as making sure that everything that needs to be done under the swivel is knocked out before you install it. Because it's I would say it's a pain to undo. It's only because when I install it, I want to make sure that it's safe. I Loctite all the bolts and torque them down, and then the Loctite's set and all that good stuff. So when you have to undo it, it just it's hard to take the Loctite off and this and that. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get in the van now and start cleaning up this interior. Once we check the front off, I kind of want to do the van in sections. So we're so close to finishing this. So I want to do everything today in this front area of the van, check it off the list. Then I'm going to move back, do anything that I need to do in the middle. Then I'm going to go ahead and move back. The final thing that needs to be built in this van that is of any real effort is there's a little box that I'm building in the back, and it houses the EcoFlow fuses and breakers and stuff like that. But you want to do that one very, very last because you're constantly plugging wires and disconnecting them. Like for this, I was plugging the power in, I was checking it, making sure it was the right fuse, then I was running it. And so I need to test this, but I don't have it finished. So it kind of keep that back section, if you're doing your fuses and stuff, open so that you can go back and forth quickly. And then get this stuff done first. I guess that's kind of my method. Because if you enclose everything in the back with your switches and fuses and something doesn't work right, you have to completely take that apart to work on it. So, yeah, and then we got some plastics here. I'm gonna move this out of the way so it doesn't get damaged, but these go over here on the side of the van. Then we have some side seat covers. We've got our seat belts. They got to be put back together. And we've already gone ahead and laid out all the tools that we're going to need. So for the seats, or the swivel seats, you're going to need 4 tools. Let's see. Yeah, that's showing up pretty good. So the first one is you're going to need 1/2-inch wrench, ratchet wrench. This is for the seat base and the seat base. And then you have, actually let me just in order. So this is what size is this one? So you need a 15mm Allen key, preferably on a ratchet. That is going to bolt the base down to the existing Ford Transit holes. So that's your first step. The second step is when you get the base plate on, you have to unlock it and rotate it. You're going to have 1/2-inch wrench and 1/2-inch ratchet with a socket on it. I don't know why I have this. So 3 tools. Need these 3 tools. So we're going to use those 3 tools today. Get this stuff put together. I will have to find this T. I don't think it's a T20. I'll move this stuff out of here. Let me see if I got that on the toolbox. I believe it's a T20 socket for the seat belt, so I need to find that. Actually, no, it's a T50. It's a big, chunky socket. So T50 for the seat belt, and it's typically on a 1/2 inch ratchet wrench. Okay, so there's our seat belts. I don't think we need anything for the plastics. I pretty much got the hard stuff already put in. Looking good. Now you can go back and forth between if you want to dust off here. Building custom vans is fun because you're like a carpenter, electrician, fabricator. And as you can see here, this is going to be a detailer, auto detailer. So this is just the piece that goes underneath the seat. This is good because this cable is going to be turning like this. So you don't want it falling down in here. And so. Yeah, I didn't think this was so dirty. It's because we're doing it live. So I might get some masking tape and get the rest of this off. Yeah, this is good. If you have a German Shepherd, you probably, or dogs, this is like painter's tape. It does the same thing. I just don't want to get the vacuum out. It's all the way across the shop. So I'll get this off, and then I'll blow it with the electric leaf blower, and then we'll get to work. This is pretty much these little pieces of sawdust when I was cutting some holes out in the kitchen galley cabinet. Okay. All right, let's hit this. Let's get this out of here. We've also got to reinstall the step. The entry step that John and Susan got. I really like it. However, the install process was kind of funny because it's one sheet of paper. So here, these are the instructions. So it shows you everything that comes in the box, and in the back it just shows you 7 pictures. So it's kind of funny. But that took a minute because there was just a bunch of steps on that. Some Ford Transits, when you have steps, this is just a good note for everyone. I would say the only way to make it easier is if you are in the market of buying a van and you haven't bought one, maybe sneak under the van and look to see if it already has the studs. Some vans already come with studs pre-installed in the chassis of the van for running boards. And some don't. So this van, it didn't have the whole package. It had 2 studs on the driver's side, and then it had 2 studs on the passenger side. But you need 4 studs. What am I doing? I'm losing my mind. There we go. You need 6 studs on the, or 6 mounting points on the driver, and then you need 3, 6, 9, 12 on the passenger, or 15 with the extended. And you have to physically drill those holes out, and the steel is really, really tough. Okay. Nice and clean. Let's move over here to the other side. And I got my phone over here if you guys have any questions. So first thing, you got to be mindful of where we're going to take this driver's seat out, but we need to have our seat centered so that we can access both bolts. Believe it or not, these tracks will move independently when they're unlocked, so they're not keyed together. So if you need to have this seat forward and rear position locked in place before you take the seat out, or it's going to be a mess. One slider is going to go forward, one slider is going to go back. Now there's these special, we're using Scopima swivels, and to get the seat off we need to rotate it. And they have these special washers that are serrated. So, and then you got a nylock nut. So I'm not using Loctite on the top section, but the Allen, Allen head screws that are going into the base, those base bolts to secure the frame, or they're Loctited. They got Loctite. I want this to be the last time I'm taking this seat out. I've taken this seat out. I think I've taken the seat out like 5 times. So. It may go without saying, but you know, when you're doing the swivel seat, you're going to need to make sure that these bolts are just kind of hand tight when you're putting the seat in. That way, just before you crank everything down, it's just going to make the install line up easier. The Ford factory seats have locating pins on the seat base, but once you change over to a swivel seat mount, those are not in use anymore. So it might be challenging to locate the seat if you've never done this before. So just heads up. And then Ford Transit, as everyone knows, the only annoying part of swivel seats is you have to open the door of a Ford Transit in order to swivel the seat. You can get 3 of those bolts out on the driver's side, but you'll have to go inside to get that last one. Actually, my last one. So we're using the 1/2-inch ratchet and wrench. And I take that back on the Loctite. I did put Loctite on these. So it's my default anyway, even if I know I might have to take it out. Actually, no, hold on a second. This is probably, it's probably the blue nylock nut. Let's see here. Yeah, that's the blue nylock. That's what that is. Okay, we're going to leave that seat right there because we're basically just going to, in a second, pick it up from there and move it right over here. No reason to take it out the driver door and risk scratching anything. So I need to go over here and open this package. I've not opened this one all the way. Okay, in the kit, you're going to get a little plastic container right here. You've got all your fittings. Don't pour them in the floor. Keep them here. These are the base mounts that I was talking about. You're also going to need, let me see if my, okay. Yeah, let's check out my camera. We need to make sure we get our Loctite. We'll just sit that right there. And now we need our swivel base. Now I'm going to unlock this swivel base. I think I'm going to try to at least. Before I put it in. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm tapping this with a rubber mallet to initially unlock it, because it's just so what it is, I unlocked it and I just tap this with a rubber mallet and kind of unlock it, because you need to unlock it like this so you can access these bolt holes. Now, this is a mistake that I make all the time, is I get excited, I want to install this swivel seat really quick, and I don't route this properly. I've done it more times than I care to say, so we're going to do it live where I don't do that. Okay, we're going to loop it underneath here and have this come under. So this is all your safety sensors for the seat, so that it knows that somebody's sitting in the seat, for the airbags, and then also for this van does not have it equipped, but if you had electronic seating, there would be more, it'd be more complex. Before I forget, I'm going to get a socket to put that on the seat. That's another part that is, and if you can do it ahead of time, it makes the install much, much better. Okay, so we're looking at a 7mm. A tool I really like in the shop is this flexible screwdriver. This is designed for hose clamps, but it accepts the 1/4" sockets, and then that way I can just do this. And then also this, I keep these together. So for example, when I was underneath the van doing the Webasto, those hose clamps are just almost impossible to get to with this forward install configuration. So this allows me to bend and really get into those weird places to tighten the fuel clamps. So I kind of keep this as like a kit together with the sockets that I normally use. So this is going to go to this, and we'll use that later. Let's see. Yep, looks like we're doing good. Let me grab my phone really quick. If I can fix this camera. I guess it looks okay. All right, next, let's go ahead and line the base up. Doesn't have to be perfect. You'll find that you'll need to the plate is not perfect, I've found. So I don't know if it's the plate. I'm pretty sure it's Ford. Ford would be, in my experience, because the Ford here, this is off just a little bit. So you really can't get all the holes to match. But this base kind of does flex a little bit, so nothing to worry about, but just if you're scratching your head at why it's not going in, you just need a hand install. So we got our Loctite on our bolts. You just need to hand install this. Not that you're already hand installing it, but you need to hand tighten. I guess is what I'm saying. And then you may need to lift this up so that you don't lift the plate up so you don't get the screws to strip. So the Loctite is all you have for this bolt. There's no washer or anything like that. So I'm just going to come in here and see if I can get this hand started. Yeah, so it pinches pretty good. If my hands look funny when I'm doing this, they're like, they're pretty tired. I've been drilling and all kinds of stuff, so they're like, they're worn out this week. And make sure you got to use a 7. What did I say, 7? It says H5. I don't know why I said 7. For the Allen wrench, don't try to half do it with something that doesn't fit perfectly into this, because you'll start to strip this as you tighten everything down. Also do a mental checklist about the Webasto. So go through, make sure you've seated the plug in there, you got the grommet, you snap the cap back on, the hose is routed, the cables are zip ties so they don't flop around underneath. So that was my checklist. So if you're doing this, I would suggest you do that as well. Okay, so that's good. This is very important. We got that right. So now our swivel is just kind of doing its thing. This goes up in the front. Scopimas they're built very well. I'm not particular to any one really. I think these are really good. Make sure that Velcro piece, that's just to kind of hide the back of the seat. And actually, I did make a, I totally forgot. We got to cut this off. All right, so we need to, let's get our welding blanket. We're gonna cut this weld off. You have to cut this off or the seat will not swivel. So we need to do that. Now I just got to find where I put that welding blanket. Let's see here. I don't want to do this off camera, but I might have to because I cleaned up the shop the other day and I moved a bunch of stuff around. There it is. There you go. Now, would this have been better to do when the van was raw and everything was in it, or not in it? Yes, of course. But we did not do that. Okay, if you're going to cut in your van, the best thing to do is decide on a direction. Pretty much, you're just controlling the sparks. So, decide what direction you want the sparks to go. Because even if you did this when nothing was in the van, you still have your dash and everything that you want to keep pristine, but it's okay. I've done this so many times that I pretty much know what I want to keep safe and not safe. Okay. All right, that's pretty much it. So we're gonna shoot that way. The brunt is gonna be right here. That's why I have that welding blanket. Let's find our grinder. Oh yeah, it's gonna be over here. There it is, there it is. I was using it to cut that battery box off. Satin black is best thing to use if you want to make sure that you get the paint match all good when you get done doing this. So we want to give us enough room to work, but then enough room to get out of the way, so, I mean to mask off so that we can not have to paint everything. Okay, that'll be good. Be a nice little square when we're done. Let's see what else we need. Sander. Get one more towel for our kitchen galley, because just in case. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I'm pretty sure the volume's not going to be crazy with this, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it down. Check 2, check, 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 check. So our spark's going that way. We're gonna let that side cool down. We're gonna come over here. Get a new battery. It's not all the way dead, it's just feels slow. There we go. That's better. Okay, now we're just trying to make it look good before we paint it. That's pretty much all we're doing. Motorcycle gloves for the win. Okay, this is why van building is exciting, because what you'll see is we do this relatively quickly. However, we are going to be we're going to have to spray this really quick and let the paint set. So what that means, we have to move to a different project. So multitasking is the key to van building. If you can't multitask, you cannot van build, because we can't finish installing the seats until the paint dries. But that's okay. We have a list of things to do. So the next thing is I'm going to, after I show you guys this, me cleaning this up and prepping it for a coat of satin black paint. We will put the running board on, the passenger one, and then we'll bolt up the nozzle for the exhaust of the Webasto to it, and we'll check that off our list. And then by then, we can come back here and check this again. What did I do there? Did I hit that? How did I hit that? Oh, I know why. I set my grinder on that. All right, I got a little bit bigger of an area to paint. That's okay. So this guy right here got nicked a little bit. I didn't want to have to do this section, but if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So another reason I use masking tape is because when you get in situations like this, masking tape holds up better to spot sanding. So you actually can hit the spot just a little bit with the sander, and the tape won't rip off, which is nice. definitely going to do 2 coats on this because we've had to take it down to bare metal. And let's see, peel this back. I mean, the reason I'm taking time on this is because this is right at the door, you know, where everybody sees. Now, some people may never see this, but I want to make sure it looks good. Okay, just make sure everything is out of the way. The nice part about this paint is we can, it just needs to set for like 2 minutes, and then you can put another coat on it. All right, let's see. Okay, what I'm going to do is stop the stream. I'll come back a little bit later, and we'll get back to the seat install. That way it's just kind of a straight video. But right now I'm actually going to install this running board here. Now, this piece is pretty heavy. I say this thing weighs maybe 15 pounds, maybe 20. Even though it's going to take some time to install, this thing is it's made really, really well. It's got a really nice crinkle paint finish on it. Very, very chunky. So I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. So it's got these really nice treads. Just really, really strong. So this is the easy part, because all you gotta do is you slide these 6 little pieces in here, and yeah, you're good to go. So we're gonna grab some food, and then we will be back in the shop continuing on this. But yeah, we'll be putting in this running board during the break, and then when that paint is dry, it doesn't have to be completely cured. We can actually move on with it being not set up all the way. But we'll get back inside the van, and then we'll finish it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Click that like button. Also click the notification bell. I go live randomly throughout the week. But yeah, we're coming really close to delivery date on this van, so I'm getting really excited. Getting all the systems working, having fun with that. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Also check out vanbuilderhq.com for all of our blog posts and articles, as well as our DIY van build cheat sheet. It's a free cheat sheet that I made It's essentially an Excel sheet of the last 3 years of all my Amazon purchases organized into an Excel sheet. So you can see what I've bought for the shop. It's going to really help you out, kind of jumpstart your van build. It's completely free. All you got to do is go to vanbuilderhq.com or the link in the description below. Click download, put your name, email address, be sent directly to your inbox, and I think it'll really help you out. That's the DIY van build cheat sheet. Again, link is in the description below. And if you want a custom van built by me, Odyssey Custom Vans, this is John and Susan's build. Contact me at odysseycustomvans.com. The link is also in the description below. When you go to the website, there is a consultation link at the bottom of the page, and you can schedule a consultation with me. Find a time and date that's convenient for you. It'll pop up on my calendar. We can hop on a phone call, talk about your van build. All right, that's going to do it for this portion of the live stream. We'll be back to finish up the seat install and hope for you guys to, hopefully you will join us this afternoon when we do that. Until next time, we'll see you guys on the next live stream.